Hello everyone, it's Diamond, and this week we're going to be talking about What If Goku Killed Bulma Part 2. Now, if you remember in Part 1, Goku killed Bulma because he didn't trust her, and later on, he comes across Master Roshi. He asks him if he can give him a Dragon Ball, but Master Roshi says that he needs to give him something in return. So, Goku heads off on foot to see what he can find for Roshi. Seeing as how he doesn't have the flying Nimbus Cloud, it's going to take a while, but eventually he'll find the same village where he met Oolong in the original. So, when Goku arrives at the village, he starts looking around to see what he can find. Now, if you remember in the original, they went there for a Dragon Ball, but this time Goku's going here to see what he can find for Roshi. Once Goku enters the village, he notices that all the doors are locked, and he proceeds to break it open by punching it. When this happens, one of the villagers strikes Goku with the axe, hitting him on the head. And just like in the original, Goku whips out his power pole and is about to attack him, but the villager begins pleading with him, begging him not to hurt him, calling him Oolong and such. Goku's confused because that's not his name, so he tells him that that's not his name and says that my name isn't Oolong. Everyone is confused and apologizes, saying that there is someone who shapeshifts and harasses their village. Now, remember in this What If, Goku doesn't really take too nice to a couple of people, so there's a chance that he may or may not help these villagers. Goku doesn't have a clue that there's a Dragon Ball here. He tells them that he's looking for a magazine, so that he can give it to Roshi, so that way he can get a Dragon Ball. And no one's too sure on what a Dragon Ball is, until one of the villagers step up and asks Goku, is this what he's looking for? Goku is about to snatch it out of her hand, until everyone stops him and tells him that they want to deal with him, saying that if he can take care of Oolong, they'll give him a Dragon Ball. Goku's very angry, because he's very impatient. He's a nice guy, so he's willing to help, but he will get aggravated pretty easily. And the reason is because he has already made a deal with Roshi and now the villagers. So, to him, there's a lot on his plate right now. So they tell Goku that he needs to disguise himself as one of the children in order for Oolong to take him to his place and then bring them all back. If you remember in the original, Goku refused. Bulma had to kind of force it onto him to dress up. So Goku is like telling them that he's not going to do it, and that he'll find another way to get them. So, Goku just walks out, and eventually Oolong shows up, and notices that this isn't a female, this is a male. He's very angry and confused, because he was promised that he would get married. Goku looks up, and sees Oolong, whips out his power pole, and strikes Oolong on the head. Once this happens, Oolong is in total shock that someone actually stepped up to him and fought him. With knowing how hard the power pole is, he pretty much gives up, doesn't even try to transform into anything else in order to win the fight. After seeing what just happened, he then proceeds to turn into a rocket and tries flying away. Now, if you remember in the original, Goku was able to catch up with him due to the flying Nimbus Cloud. But because he doesn't have it, he needs to, I would say, grab onto Oolong as a missile. So with him grabbing onto him, the both of them are flying around like crazy. He's telling Goku to let go of him, with Goku saying no. Eventually, Oolong lands at his place. Once he crashes down there, he then turns back into his normal self. Goku sees that this is a pig, and is very confused that a pig can shapeshift. But as a matter of fact, Goku is a lot angrier with Oolong, just because he wasted his time. Now, he doesn't really have any use for Oolong in this What If story. So, I'm going to say that he then proceeds to beat Oolong to the point where, unfortunately, Oolong is dead. So now there's two things that's wrong with this What If. Bulma is dead, as well as Oolong, by the hands of Goku. But eventually Goku enters the door, sees all of the kids, looks around to see if there's anything useful that he can find in there. Surprisingly enough, he ends up finding a magazine in there. So for this what if, I'm going to say that he eventually finds a magazine that Oolong left behind inside his house. So he takes that, as well as the people that he kidnapped, brings it back to the village. They give him a Dragon Ball in return, and Goku tries to head off to find Roshi again. Now, meanwhile, somewhere else, the Pilaf gang are noticing that there's a couple of Dragon Balls. So, with them being very confident, they all get in their ship, and they fly off to see where this is coming from. They notice that it's Goku. Now, for this one, I'm going to say that Goku and the Pilaf gang's battle start off pretty early than later on in the series. Because they're not prepared and don't have the right weapons for this fight, I'm going to say that Goku does manage to kill them. So Goku is catching bodies. So now that he's destroyed a couple of people, he then begins to find his way to Roshi's house to see if he can get a Dragon Ball in return. And that's where I'm going to leave it off for now.